Hey y'all, it's Splendid and Swirl One. I'm in the dark right now, in the pitch black. I'm in a location where I can't really, it's too late at night and I'm busy, so I'm going to make this video in the dark, but I have some deep stuff I want to share. I've been watching other YouTubers' videos that I follow, and they gave me some things to think about. For starters, I'd like to say I've been getting a lot of questions from people. I've been getting questions about, I've had people ask my opinions on why does it seem that Black Americans cannot get along? Like, we just cannot get along for some reason. We always have an issue with one another, to the point to where it's just hard to maintain a relationship with each other, whether it's friendship, business, family relationship, it doesn't matter. Well, let me tell you guys something. And I'm going to speak about several different topics, but this is the first one I'm going to share because someone passed that question on to me. Why does it seem we cannot get along at all? Well, let me tell you that issue with us in getting along happened actually before we even came here from Africa. I read some interesting history regarding the slave trade and how people were being sold and tricked into slavery from various different tribes from all over West Africa. Many of the people that were brought here from Africa were from different locations in Africa, different tribes. They didn't speak the same languages. They really didn't associate with each other over in Africa. We saw that, and as a matter of fact, we saw that in Roots. Remember in the beginning of Roots, I think it was part 1, when Kunta Kinte was captured and he was put on the boats. They were all put on the boats. And it was so many different people shackled together who couldn't even talk to each other because they were from different tribes and different areas of Africa. And then Kunta Kinte and the wrestler got together and said, we're going to, talk to, they mentioned to all the people shackled, learn the words of the people next to you and we'll become one village. So that showed you that we had a lot of differences even before we got here. Those differences did not change. We had a lot of people that were just different from one another. It's because we're the same skin color doesn't mean that we're the same. We're very different. And a lot of us have an individual attitude. It's all about me. So it makes it very difficult for a person that's all about me to even maintain close relationships, get along, like each other, all of that. But it also is another factor as well. The other factor is we have a segment of our society that is anti-Black, and they're Black people. I call them the Black KKK. I drove through the hood tonight, and I didn't see anybody out there. Nobody. The streets were empty in the hood. Surprising, huh? Well, a lot of people don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to go to jail. They don't want to be drinking and driving. They don't want to go out to clubs because clubs nowadays are not safe. So they just stay home now. A lot of people are staying home now, or they go to maybe, something social that's pretty private. But these people who are staying home that would normally be on the streets, they're at home on YouTube and on Facebook trolling. That's their Black on Black crime has moved from the streets to the internet now. I've encountered on Facebook and on YouTube a lot of Black KKK. These are Black people who honestly dislike with a passion other Blacks. They don't like other Black people at all. These people they have completely been indoctrinated into American society. They think like whites. I mean, totally like them. They think like them. They don't want to. They want to identify with who is popular. You know how you hear them attack all the time, and when somebody Black has a lot of money, they got money. They think they better because they got money, but they never say anything about Donald Trump having money or anybody that they think should have money. They don't feel it's wrong for them to have money, but they always attacking when somebody who looks like them is successful. They try to tear them down and destroy them. These people are the type who do not like if you speak and it's any type of ebonics or You sound like you might be from the urban area. They don't like you. They don't like ethnic behaviors. They don't like black culture, black identity. They want to be like Donald Trump and like other people who are successful. And they feel like, I'm just going to leave Negroes behind. I'm going to be successful. So these people who are anti-black, who are actually black people, they're trying to win. They ain't into winning. They're trying to be successful, and they feel like, I gotta go and be like the dominant culture. Our culture is too messed up, and there's no reason to stay loyal to that anymore. This is their mentality. These are many of the people who are seeking non-black partners. They feel like, I can get with somebody who is of a different ethnic group. They usually have more money. They're usually more successful. They usually are more family oriented and know how to maintain relationships because they've been raised in a better situation than most of us. So these are these people. And sometimes they put up with more stuff out of non-blacks than they do out of their own people. They have zero tolerance for their own people. Zero. But they have more tolerance for people who don't care anything about them. This is how they think. This is the mentality of many of the people that I'm speaking on. And that element of our society is starting to, we see it all the time. There are several YouTubers who make videos who are the Black KKK. Several of them are. We saw that character, you saw the Uncle Ruckus character on the Boondocks. We saw Django. Steven was like that. This is a true identity. This is a true, remember that old movie from back in the day, Boys in the Hood, that black police officer was a Black KKK. He hated other black people. This is really real. In fact, I was going to use his photo as the backdrop for this video because that is real. There are people who are like that. They actually have a severe hatred for their own people. They feel that they look at you through the eyes of the dominant culture. And to those people, I'm waiting and watching to see their fall, because they're going to. With the way things are going in this country right now with all this racial tension, they're going to be totally in for a surprise when it keeps getting heated like it is, and all their friends and people they associate with don't want anything to do with them and don't trust them anymore, because they're starting to really see that we're, because of what's going on with the police brutality cases and, everything that's going on right now, the people who are these Black KKK who dislike their own people are going to be in for quite a surprise. They're going to be in for a surprise, because when things like that start happening, when racial tension's high, nobody trusts anybody. I remember watching during Hurricane Katrina, there was a section of New Orleans that's middle class, is very diverse. It wasn't flooded like the other parts. The lower income areas flooded. The areas that were not flooded are diverse. There was people who live in these middle class areas who said that during Hurricane Katrina, their neighbors turned on them. Their neighbors a lot of people don't know this, but there was people shooting people who were coming in from the lower parts of New Orleans to try to get away from the water. And the buses didn't come get them right away. They were trying to go to the surrounding cities to seek shelter because they couldn't stay in that flood zone. And the people at the surrounding cities had guns on them. You come across this line, we're going to shoot you. And they shot about 9 people. This happened. Look up Katrina Race War on YouTube. You'll see it. They were shooting black men who crossed over to their surrounding suburb areas outside of New Orleans. Because New Orleans is a high crime area. And the people who live there, the blacks who live there, said their neighbors turned on them and said, look, I know you've been living next door to me for 40 years. But if you come across this line, I'll shoot you too. Because you're one of them. So this is how it got when things got ugly. So I'm telling you, black people who are the new blacks, who are the KKK blacks, who don't like other black people, you're going to get treated like that at your job. Not shot at, just kicked out. Just all of a sudden, they're not accepting you anymore. which, well, in other areas of your life where you are the only one and you're happy with that because you feel like you fit in and you're accepted, they're going to start cutting you off because they're not going to trust you either. Or they'll be making you feel very uncomfortable, making you the spokesperson for black issues. You'll be that person. You will be that. You will be totally treated differently by your friends. You will see that, and I understand why many of them, the blacks who are the black KKK, we have a lot of issues. We have issues with the way we treat one another and things like that. So they feel like there is no reward for being loyal to your own people. But even though we have our issues, and everybody black is not your people. We have a lot of riffraff in our community. That's the real problem. We have a lot of riffraff, and we cannot really merge with riffraff. I got into a heated argument on Facebook with someone who, this pro-black type, who was telling me, we need to just, burn America down, and we need to get rid of all the institutions, the government, and we need to just take it over, basically. And I'm like, yeah, you do that, and we're going to be nomads, and we're going to basically have to leave and go somewhere else. Because the institutions and the government you're talking about taking over and tearing down, they're paying for all the government programs. And you know what this fool said, who was pro-black? He said, so what? If they don't pay for, if we don't have nobody paying for the government programs no more, we don't need them anyway. And I mentioned to him, a lot of our people actually need government programs. They need it. He was like, well, they not working with us. They're useless, so we don't need them. So I said, you'd rather have millions of our people be without any money and no place to stay? See, but that mentality is why we have an issue with each other. We're so different, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video. We came from different areas of Africa before our ancestors, before they even came over here, they had differences. We all don't think alike. We can't get on one accord because there's too many different mentalities and everybody's going a different way. I don't see us ever being able to get past that. It's just not possible. So the only thing we can do, honestly, because I always seek for solutions, the people that are like-minded like you need to just stick with them and try to get something done. I help a lot of people. I always have. I don't think I can change the world, but the people around me, if I'm able to help them in some way, I do, whether it's getting them a job or helping them. If I met a guy who confided to me that he had a drug addiction. I got him into a rehab center. I'm the type of person that help you get back on your feet, the type of person that help you in a way that can better your life. I don't think I can help everybody. I don't think any of us can help everybody, but if you can. But it's people you can't help, and you understand that, and you let them go. But to the ones you can, if you can do it, if it's possible, do it. Do your best. But to the black KKK, I'm going to be watching your fall because you guys are going to fall. It's going to happen. And you won't have no refuge. Because when you don't build nothing up, you have nothing to go back to. You have nothing to fall back on. I've helped people. I've helped people get jobs. And when I didn't like my job, I was able to make a phone call and go to a job that somebody I helped get a management position was able to help me get a job. But when you never do anything for anybody else, you don't have no support. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go because I got to run. I'm going to be back real soon, and I'll make a real video next time, I promise. Peace.